Hey, you wanna go hunt some monsters? Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I am Andrew, and today I've got another book review for you. But before we get into that book review, make sure you're liking and subscribing so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. Now today's book review is a self-pub book, and this one was kindly sent to me by the author. Basically reached out to me on Instagram, was like, hey, I am a SPFBO 8 entry, would you like a copy of my book? And I was like, yes, that cover looks amazing. And I can only be talking about Crown of Madness by Ryan G. Beatty. And guys, this one is a lot of fun. It looks beefier, but it's got very generous type. And so this is a very quick read. On top of that, this is heavily inspired by The Witcher. The Witcher video games, I should say. This book, for me, is what I thought The Witcher books were going to be like after playing the video games, because I was a fan of the video games first, and so I was just like, oh, yeah, totally the books are going to be like that. No, the books are way different than the video games. And this kind of is a course correction for that for me. So basically, this is heavily Witcher inspired. There is a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences, and we're going to kind of touch on those. So basically, here we kind of follow an order called the Hexblades. And the Hexblades are basically mutants who fight with silver swords. They go and take contracts to kill monsters who are plaguing the realm. And yeah, basically they are mutated humans who go out and like kill a monster during a trial. And then they have to take a mutagen. And the monster that they've slayed is incorporated into their body. Like they have to go and get bit by a venomous magical creature. And then, you know, through some mutations, they can kind of become superhuman. They're really OP. These are people you don't want to mess with. They've got superhuman strength, stamina, speed. They've got magical abilities based on whatever creature they've been bitten by. As they mature, they kind of take on aspects of their creature, and then they can become lycanthropes for that creature. And in this one, we follow Marcus. And Marcus is a newly formed Hexblade. Basically, when we meet him, he is out to go kill his first creature. He is already an incredible swordsman. He has been forged and tortured and just hammered into shape to be this monster killing machine. And so basically when we meet him, he is out there getting ready to kill a black dragon, which is insane because most people don't survive fighting black dragons. And so he kind of gets everything set up. He takes his potions, he puts some runes, does some magic, and then he goes in to kill his monster. And of course, since we're following Marcus in this book, he succeeds and gets to become a Hexblade. And then throughout the rest of the book, we kind of find out like what the Hexblades can do. There seems to be some sort of deeper mystery here in the story, or the world, I should say. And for the first 40%, it's kind of rinse, wash, and repeat. We go through and we are hunting monsters. We are taking contracts. But something is off because these monsters are either A, appearing in places where they don't belong, B, were thought to be extinct, or C, are kind of in the off season. You know, like typically a griffin would like migrate somewhere and go somewhere. And they've showed up somewhere where like they're not expected to show up for another 3 to 4 months and everybody's caught flat-footed. And so there's a deeper mystery that is going on there. The second half of the book is more political intrigue. And basically the way the Hexblade Order works is they don't get involved in the politics of man. Unless, there's a caveat, unless somebody is basically summoning demons or doing something like that, that can then affect a realm. So if somebody sends a demon after a king, then technically that person has summoned an otherworldly being into existence and is therefore also an additional target for a Hexblade. And so we kind of get to explore what happens when a Hexblade gets pulled into a war and politics between two varying kingdoms. And that's kind of what this book is. Now, something that may bug some readers is this is very action heavy. This is very much our character is a Gary Stu. We are told our character is a Gary Stu. We are told how Hexblades are formed. We are told Hexblades are not people to be messed with. We are told Hexblades are just OP. And so I don't really have a problem with, Marcus being this big beat 'em up kind of guy. He can take punishment, he can deal punishment. He pretty much solves most of his issues with relative ease. Like, he's been trained for this, he's studied for this, he's been, weapons lore, potions lore, all sorts of monster lore, all sorts of research has gone into making him who he is. And at the end of the day, I gave this one a 4 out of 5. I thought it was really enjoyable. Kind of follow along with Marcus, his friend, Ivan. Ivan's in there as well. And we kind of get to go through the journey of becoming a Hexblade, forging our weapon, figuring out what it takes to be a Hexblade, what goes with the Order, what goes with being a Hexblade, how the world reacts to Hexblades, because it's very similar to how people react to Witchers within Audrey Sapkowski's books. Is you're a mutant, da-da-da-da-da. The thing is that Hexblades are kind of outside of the law, where Witchers can, are not outside of the law. And so basically, if you mess with a Hexblade, you better be prepared to deal with the consequences of messing with a Hexblade, because you kind of need them and you can't really touch them. So I really, really enjoy just this kind of fresh take on a Monster Hunter, I would say. The second book is getting ready to come out here soon. In fact, at the time of recording, I think the ebook is available. And in the words of the author, he said the second book is 1,000 times better than this book. And if I gave this one a 4 out of 5 for a debut, then I am very much looking forward to that book. Guys, this is a lot of fun. This is just action in your face, monster hunting, and I think it is very well paced. I think the characterization is consistent, and overall, I just think it's a good read. That said, guys, please check this one out. Plus, look at this cover. Let's just take a second to talk about the cover. It's got this sword going down the center, and then it flares out to make this dragon face. We've got these like glowing green, black dragon eyes. This is what it is. It's the black dragon, because this is Marcus's book, which apparently there's going to be 5 books. Just going off of what's on the cover. And then there's these runes carved up. And I just love the contrast between the silver, the black, and the green. I absolutely adore this cover. It is awesome. That said, guys, I really don't have a whole lot more to tell you about this book, other than the fact that this is a very strong debut, and I really enjoyed this story. That said, guys, please comment, like, subscribe, hit that Patreon if you want to support what I do. And as always, till next time, peace out, stay magical, bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.